Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion on the fallout from Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 1. And today, I want to run down a pretty big gorilla that's been making its way through the Boruto community following the release of the last manga chapter, which is now that Boruto's back inside of Konoha and appears to be not sweating Code and stepping on his face in the most disrespectful of ways. This has led to a lot of fans asking the question of whether or not Boruto has awakened new powers as a result of the 3-year time skip. That's a pretty interesting topic, and one I keep seeing you guys bring up in the comment section. And while I have already weighed in on this in my Patreon Discord server, I wanted to share my thoughts here publicly. Boruto's clearly gotten stronger during the time skip, enough so to the point he appears to be trolling Code, despite Code being someone who has several members of his Ten Tails army here in Konoha, many of them surrounding Boruto and Sarada, and despite the fact that Code himself is a being stronger than Jougan when it comes to power, with Jougan being someone so strong that Naruto and Sasuke fans have nightmares anytime you say the name Jougan 3 times when they're looking in the mirror. You would think that Boruto would be a little bit more on edge, which has led to some people saying, hey, this is because he's awakened the jougan and he has new powers, and some people have even written in the comment section that he was teleporting to Konoha using the jougan, which is how he turned up so undetected. However, I disagree. I think that Boruto has new powers, but I don't think it's the jougan. I know that the jougan in the anime was shown having teleportation powers, and Boruto was able to hear his friend say his name when the jougan was active, and he teleported out of the New Age time space. And while we know with certainty that Masashi Kishimoto did work on a few anime episodes that focus on the jougan, video coming soon, because there's a lot about Boruto's anime I need to clear up misconceptions on. I don't think that this is the case at all, however. Allow me to explain what I mean. While it would be cool to see the ever so mythical and mighty jougan eye, I don't think that's the power that Boruto used here. I think the answer is literally right in front of our faces, but it's such a simple answer that I think a lot of people don't want to accept it. Boruto simply flew to Konoha. He was likely already near the area, and when he saw Code about to attack Sarada, he made his presence known and made Code the face of yet another meme. This time the no Riz memes that have been flying around social media following the release of the chapter, but I don't think that this was jougan teleportation. I think Boruto pulled a Momoshiki and Kinshiki, which is he merely was masking his chakra and was flying, and decided to show himself during the time right when he saw Sarada about to be attacked by Code. If we go back to the manga chapter, the foreshadowing for this is there because Mitsuki is worried about Boruto because he's an Otsutsuki like Kawaki. He might be able to mask his chakra and might already be inside of Konoha, but Kawaki brushed off saying, I'd know if he was here. But we know from Boruto's experience with Kawaki, particularly once Kawaki knew how to mask his chakra consciously when he went off to visit Naruto before sealing him away, Boruto had a tough time tracking his location. He was actively trying to feel where he was, implying Boruto had some idea of how to actually track Kawaki, but he didn't know and truly know where Kawaki was until they were in close proximity. At the time, we all assumed that this was the combination of Sukuna Hikona and the chakra masking ability, but this could also very well be something that we learn with Otsutsuki. When they truly learn to master chakra, it can be hidden even from amongst themselves to a degree. In the manga chapter, we see speed lines around Boruto's foot that are going up and down in a motion, implying he came down from the sky, and when the sensory unit relayed information to Shikamaru, they say he infiltrated from the sky directly above Code's position, so he would have flown downward. It's not crazy to say he was high in the sky watching the village, perhaps getting a layout of the land, perhaps even being struck at how much things have changed or the people have changed before realizing Code had begun his attack and he made his move there. Momoshiki was in the sky undetected until he and Kinshiki stopped masking their chakra and everyone crapped themselves because he got through their defenses. Otsutsuki masking the chakra actually goes as far back as Kaguya doing the same thing in Naruto volume 71, going through her dimensions to get the drop on Naruto and Sasuke without them noticing until she was right on them. Amato in Boruto Naruto Next Generation's manga literally said that Boruto and Kawaki would be zipping around the village in no time and hiding their chakra was just one of the many abilities of the Otsutsuki clan. At first, I would have said that this was karma teleportation, which it seems very reasonable since we saw Ishiki use the time space jutsu while he didn't have a karma seal, because again, Jigen and Ishiki are not the same people. Ishiki used his dojutsu and teleported straight straight to Konoha and he hovered over the skies before descending. The entire time they didn't sense him until he let off his chakra, but we don't have any indication that Boruto used karma at all we can do is speculate. However, given that Amato said that Boruto and Kawaki both will start showing more of the powers of their Otsutsuki, I wanted to look at some of the potential abilities that Boruto might be in possession of, since while I don't think he teleported to Konoha using the jougan, maybe using the karma to appear in the air and then fly down, I definitely don't think it was the jougan. However, with the line that Momoshiki dropped very casually in Boruto Naruto Next Generation's manga about knowing all shinjutsu, not necessarily that he knew how to perform all shinjutsu, but he possessed knowledge of all shinjutsu. That's something worth exploring. Now that we have Boruto in this three-way battle with Kawaki versus Code versus Boruto, there's a lot of explosive things set to take center stage in that fight, and things could get messy when tempers start flaring up. Kawaki has a fully mature dojutsu and implied to have powers, and Boruto seems every bit as cocky right now, and it's his first fight out of the time skip, so it's not hard to think that he shows off the knowledge he gained from his efforts to master his karma seal. That was something he didn't have full mastery of in part 1, so it makes sense in part 2 he's got full mastery. With Boruto, the easiest thing to say is that he's probably got up his sleeve is a more proficient mastery of the gentle fist fighting style. We know he's been taught the movements of the fighting style, being trained by Hinata and Hanabi. We also know that Hanabi via the light novels is implied to have taught him how to expel chakra through his chakra points like the Hyuga do, but Boruto cannot target the chakra network like the other Hyuga because he doesn't have his own Byakugan. But Momoshiki's usage of the gentle fist was more brutal than anything we've seen in the past from the Hyuga, and he's skilled enough he was able to hold his own with Naruto in hand-to-hand combat, and at times he got the drop on him even when Naruto's using 6-pass chakra mode. I think at a bare minimum we should see a taijutsu buff from Boruto when he starts using his karma properly in this battle, since he already had some training from Hanabi to expel his chakra through his chakra points. I don't think it's crazy having Momoshiki's abilities and knowledge means that he should be capable of expelling chakra at such a high and focused density that he generates a similar amount of force as Momoshiki did when he casually split the god tree in half. For reference, Naruto in his base 6-path sage mode with no Kyuubi cloak cut on, which is a reminder 6-path sage mode has nothing to do with the true sleeping orbs. Naruto was able to split the god tree in half using a lava release Rasen Shuriken, doing far more damage than 8th Gate Might Guy did when he landed a hit that sent Madara into the god tree. So we're talking about a crap ton of force just from a chakra shockwave that Boruto should be able to casually recreate, though with the battle being inside of Konoha, the destructive output will obviously be contained. The next obvious thing we can assume is that Boruto knows how to use the compression Rasengan in the way that Momoshiki did, where he found a workaround to the compression Rasengan, damaging the person who uses it by compressing it down and using highly advanced chakra control to shoot it off like a bullet. And I think Boruto, being the genius that he is, might have figured out a way to add lightning release to his compression Rasengan so that he can shoot off a compression Rasengan that cannot be seen by someone who doesn't have a Jojutsu or eyes modified with ninja tech that can see chakra. In a battle like this, that might be something that works on both Code and Kawaki. The reason being is pretty simple. Code doesn't have a Dojutsu, and there's nothing in the manga that implies that his eyes have been modified with ninja tech like Delta, so this could be the trump card that Boruto needs in this battle situation. For Kawaki, it gets really tricky because he has Ishiki's Dojutsu. We don't know for certain that Ishiki can see chakra with that dojutsu. However, given that the Sharingan can see chakra as a color, the Rinnegan can see chakra, and the Byakugan can see down to the chakra network itself, it stands to reason that this unnamed dojutsu can as well, and it explains why Ishiki wasn't able to find Kawaki when that smoke bomb that blinds dojutsu abilities was able to safely hide Kawaki from Ishiki. But assuming Kawaki can see it, this at least takes out Code. If he's able to use the 5 chakra natures like Momoshiki can, Boruto can start molding different chakra natures together to make things like that giant golem of earth and fire release that was body slamming Kurama in the anime with a rock bottom and a people's elbow. You can argue since it's chakra that Kawaki can shrink it with the dojutsu, or he can absorb it with karma, but it's still something we don't know for certain, especially because Boruto might be smart enough to take advantage of Kawaki's weakness with karma, i.e. using existing earth for the foundation of its earth release, or taking a page out of Kashi and Koji's book and having real fire be used and manipulating with his own chakra. That at the very least prevents karma from absorbing it, and it will test out if Kawaki can shrink it with his dojutsu. When we look at the powers of Momoshiki that he has from some of the light novels, like the Boruto anime novels that Ukyo Kodachi wrote, and since Kodachi was the, writer of Boruto, that kind of holds some credence. Boruto might be able to freeze the space around them, and like he did in the Boruto movie novel, also written by Ukyo Kodachi, the former writer, he should be able to summon meteors if the battle gets outside of Konoha to really start putting pressure on Kawaki, because that would be something that Kawaki couldn't shrink. Between the way Momoshiki is both deceptive and extremely calculating, and Boruto has the genius of Minato, his grandfather, I don't think it's crazy to assume that he's learned a few new tricks. Which brings me back to my question: what new powers do you guys think Boruto has? While you think that over, click here to see these other Naruto Explained videos.